Hey, welcome back to another episode from Life for Living Well. My name is Richard, and before I dive into the topic I have this week, I'd like to quickly say if you'd like to know one or two things about this community, Life for Living Well, you can check it out on our website at www.lifeforlivingwell.com. Once again, the topic that I'll be looking at this week is what I call how to develop wisdom by imitation. How do you develop your wisdom? How do you develop wisdom using imitation? There's a topic that I will be continuing from last week. As we normally do, we take one individual quote and we try to build around it. So this week I'll be taking from Oscar Wilde, and he put it this way: imitation is the sincerest form of flattery that mediocrity can play to greatness. For those with the little children at home, you will understand this a lot. How the little siblings copy their older siblings in mannerism, in activities, in action, even though they are not ready to do that, but they imitate you. And for those who have the little one, as a parent, you observe them, you notice that they're trying to imitate what you're doing. So how much more how we can imitate? This is go beyond fake it until you make it. This means you have to prepare to do the works sometimes, most of the times, in order to see the benefit of the behavioral change that you deploy into yourself. And in today's world, the kind of imitation Confucius alluded to is not what many people practice. Last week, we looked at the reflection as a tool or means to develop wisdom. This week, we're looking at the second tools or suggestion Confucius stated to develop wisdom through imitation. But if you look around you today, the kind of imitation the world or the people practice mostly is not the imitation Confucius stated in his quote. Copying other people's creativity, work, and product is purely theft and lack of originality. This issue is evident in the field of education with the introduction of generative AI, which enables people to claim work they did not do or fail to give proper credit to the source. Confucius' use of imitation as a form of developing wisdom was more akin to apprentices learning a trade from a master until they develop their own mystery. And I have to take you back to the ancient China. So the role of a master or teacher was crucial. Someone who could guide you and translate instruction into meaningful outcomes, which is totally different to the Western dogma way of religion or developing knowledge, where you can grab a book, you can read a book, you can interpret it. In ancient China, it doesn't work that way. You might read a lot of things, you might be able to read the text, translate it. You still have to be under the leadership of a teacher. That his own translation might be different from the person that actually wrote the book. And if you're happy to be a student or that, you have to abide by the rules. So this is the concept and perspective Confucius stated, that you develop wisdom through imitation, through the guide, through observing people that already have the skills, have the knowledge, have the understanding you want. What that actually means is that what are they doing to acquire this wisdom? Did they get up early in the morning? Did they create time to study and practice? What exactly did they do to acquire, become who they are that you really admire about them? Some people may remember how one country was known for copying product from other countries. Why the imitated product looked similar, the quality was often questionable, but over the years, that country evolved and invested in human development and enabling it to produce high quality products in certain areas. Almost everyone knows a genius like individual. You must have known or work or have in your family, in your friends or workplace or even social cycle. You must have met someone that they were so brilliant with their mind, brilliant with their brain, able to read something, able to map it in their mind, able to translate what they write into real life solution. Because it's not everyone that reads things have the capacity to translate what they read into real life solution. Some people are Google where there are mountains of information, but they have not done anything with those information to become meaningful things. Meaningful thing is that to solve real life problems. Life is full of challenges. Life is full of problems. The more problem or the bigger the problem you're able to solve, the more reward the universe himself present to you. No one's going to give you a free food all the time. If they do, you're probably losing something in another way that you're not aware of. Perhaps your time, which is priceless, but only if you know the value of your time. So why not find out what they do to maintain their knowledge and understand what drive the outcome you admire about them? If you are not fortunate to work with them, if you are not fortunate to have them in the family, these people take time to write books about their lives. One of the books that shaped my mindset is the biography of Abraham Lincoln. When I read it, I realized there are so many limitations in life is in our mind. You can have every reason to not move from one step A to step B. You can have so many reasons. You can use the color of your skin, which is an obstacle to extend. You can use your height, you can use your gender, you can use the environment that you are brought up. You have so many reasons to not progress. But when you read the biography of people you really admire, they might be people that are no longer here, but they are kind enough to put their life story in their biography. And you have thing that you have control about is the time you take to read about it. So during high school, I personally, I struggled with some of my courses because I couldn't shift my focus away from football. Being the team captain, football dominated my thoughts. I sleep with it, I walk with it, I drink with it. Even when I'm away in the social gathering with my parents, I wasn't there. My mind was with my peers playing football with them. So a turning point came during the school break when I spent time with a friend. And how did this happen? Because even though I'm brilliant with the football, my academic life suffered a lot for it because I was struggling to do two things in the same time. So during the school break, when I spent time with a friend who was one of the best students at the time, he noticed I was worried about my exam results and invited me to study with him during the holiday. Observing him study, take notes, ask questions, and discuss concepts to retain information really inspired me. It was no one I've seen study that way, not even my family. So I started doing the same. It was challenging at first, but I was determined to improve my grades. By the end of the holiday, we had covered all the material for the upcoming grade. The following year, I became one of the top students, not by copying their work, but by developing expertise based on the habit I had observed and adopted. This is what Confucius is talking about, imitation. It's not copy other people's work. It's to, if they don't tutor or coaching you directly, is to allow your mind to be coached indirectly. Imitate the behavior that you see that project the success or knowledge that you admire about them. You don't have to copy their character because not all the bright minds are easy people to spend too much time with. But you can look at what you admire about them and look at the habit that they have that allow them to have this. So if you are willing, you can turn your life around, seek out those who have achieved what you aspire to, and try to understand how they did it. Finally, in most cases, changing your habits and doing the necessary work is enough. The same principles apply to work and skills. Successful individuals often read more books, engage in studies, work on projects, and pursue continuous development. I hope this message helps someone. And this is the second part of how to develop wisdom. Last week, we looked into reflection. This week, we look into imitation. And next week, hopefully, we will complete the part of how to develop wisdom. So if you mix the last one, you can check it out on our website. We put the last 38 podcasts on the website at www.lifeforlivingwell.com. And if you don't have the time to check the website, you can also listen to it or watch it on YouTube channel. If you just type lifeforlivingwell.com, and you can listen to it in any of your favorite podcast platform, and by typing lifeforlivingwell.com, and you will see this message. And I hope this message helps someone. Until we meet again, please stay safe and have a wonderful week. Ciao.